Hello and welcome back to the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational League. I am the Crushinator and I will be your caster for this evening's matchup between two of the top teams in the league here in Lubu and Regen Ghost. I believe, I'm 95% sure these two teams are already locked in for the playoffs, but they're going to be battling for the top spot here in a very close competition, I am sure. Welcome to everyone in the chat. El Taquito, bringing the regen hype. Mass Introvert, I appreciate the host. Welcome to the stream. These teams are ready. I'm going to take you to the map screen real quick. Let you know what the setup is for this year's series. Braxis Holdout, Sky Temple, Battlefield of Eternity, and Infernal Shrines are off the table. Hanamura and Haunted Mines are, shall we say, not technically banned. However, map number one brought to you by Regen Ghost is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, so let's jump right into draft. Alright, Tomb of the Spider Queen. First ban is going over to Lubu. We did see a balance patch today. We saw a nerf to Cassia, we saw some very interesting changes to ETC, two heroes that we see an awful lot here in the XGDI. So we'll see if that changes the ban strategy, see if that changes the power picks. We did see a lot of other changes as well, as the balance patches lately have been very widespread. But those are the two that caught my eye. We're gonna have Tassadar banned away by Lubu and May banned away by Regen Ghost. Very usual as per now. I'm interested to see whether they're still gonna be banning the Cassia. The Surge of Light on 7 got nerfed. A lot of people saying it's still very strong. Cassia's still very viable. So maybe we'll see Cassia come through. Likely not. I'm interested about ETC's position, though. ETC is going to be banned away by Lubu, so we're not going to see new ETC. Check out the most recent patch notes if you want to see what they did to ETC. They kind of updated his brawler build a little bit, and they did some cool things with Crowd Surfer. I'm excited to play it, to be honest. Regen Ghost is going to go ahead and ban away the Deckard. Very strong healer. Never a bad idea to take that off the board, even right off the top. Bandit is going to open things up with a Kael'thas. Kael'thas obviously bringing the wave clear, bringing the zone control with those living bombs. Interrupting rotations and getting the waves cleared as quickly as possible. Very important here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And because the lanes are so squat, they're so short, the limited mobility of Kael'thas isn't exactly punished as much as on other maps. Litterrock and DubC613 are going to snap up the Cassia and the Orphea, so a double DPS pickup by Regen Ghost to start things off. So we do get to see the allegedly nerfed Cassia in our first matchup back. And Orphea, always strong. Not explicitly great wave clear on those two heroes, but together they can definitely get the job done. Streakwing, gonna pick up the Lucio, as is expected. And Alan Hicks is gonna go ahead and grab Diablo. So we've got the core squad for Lubu rounded out. That does sort of weaken the power of this third ban coming out here from Regen Ghost. They've got to sort of guess at what's left here. Let's see what they're thinking. Thrall, going to be banned away. Thrall, a great brawler, able to contribute a lot coming up in the team fights. And with a map as small as Tomb of the Spider Queen, often the off-laner will be joining fights very quickly. So good ban there. Johanna banned away. The Johanna Cassia synergy, obviously very strong. And Tomb of the Spider Queen, probably Johanna's best map. So taking that tank off the board is Lubu. How are we doing on the frames? Frames are doing great. Yeah. Thought I saw some nonsense over in the corner of my eye with the frames, but it looks good. Shui is going to go ahead and grab Leoric, and Andrew is going to be playing the Stukov. We've seen some fantastic Stukov play in this league. I think Stukov might be one of the most impactful sort of micro healers in the game right now. Being able to control space with those silent zones, being able to land those skill shot slows and eventually get that root combo. Super, super impactful. So we'll see what Andrew can bring to the table on that hero. Suikoden is going to grab Zool for the off lane, and Spartacus is going to grab the Vala. And very quickly snapping a Nubarak is Mongoose. Now, the Anubarak got a change to Burning Rage. It's now Burning Beetles. So I'm not sure if Mongoose is thinking about a Beetles build or if they're just thinking bring the noise with that Anubarak tank. We'll see how it turns out here. Game number 1 between Lubu and Regen Ghost is about to get underway. I started that spiel too early. Here we go. Alrighty. Loading up in here to game number 1 as I clicked the wrong thing on my stream deck, so we're going to listen to the very first part of this song rather than continuing the last one. Dang. Double dang. That's okay. Get some hot beats as we load in here to Tomb of the Spider Queen. We do have, it's pretty good wave clear on both sides. I'd say Lubu has the advantage with the Kael'thas and the Zool. Though the team fight could go Regen Ghost's way. Let's get into the game here. And see what we see. On the left in the blue is Lubu. As I fumble around with my wires a little bit. Alan Hicks is going to be playing the Diablo. Bandit is going to be on the Kael'thas. Spartacus playing Vala. Streakwing on the Lucio. And Suikoden on the Zool. On the right in the red, we have Regen Ghost with Litorok playing the Cassia. Shui is on Leoric. Andrew playing that Stukov. Mongoose on the Anubarak. And Dubsy613 on the Orphea. Here we go. Game number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen is underway. Kael'thas will be looking for globes to finish off that Arcane Barrier quest, and no other questing talents to be had, aside from Diablo's passive Souls quest, of course. Shui trying to flank around here. Alan Hicks going straight through the wall. They want the early kill onto Leoric, using that Wraithwalk to get away. Mongoose is kind of on the wrong side of things here, as well as Litorok. But it looks like everyone is going to be okay in the opening scuffle. That did give Zool an opportunity to very quickly clear this lane. That's going to give Lubu a little bit of an advantage on these rotations. Shui will be working against Suikoden here in the bottom lane, while the rest of the teams work on the rotation between mid and top. So this is where interrupting rotations is going to be important for both of our teams. Lubu is currently ahead on the wave clear, so they have the opportunity to step up and interrupt the rotations of Regen Ghost, try to slow their rotations down and get further ahead on this wave clear. Checking in on the bottom lane, it looks like Zool is having a good time so far with the wave clear advantage. Once Leoric gets that Neil Peasants on 4, which is pretty usual for Leoric, that wave clear advantage for Zool will start to dissipate just a little bit. Here we see Litorok actually challenging Spartacus on this bottom camp. Usually we don't see both flex players trying to go onto this camp, but the crisp macro timings from our two squads mean they're going to go ahead and meet down here. Excuse me. And Lubu is actually going to commit their entire rotation to this camp. We'll see if Regen Ghost can jump on top of this. Shui is a little bit low, is not going to be able to ward out. But here comes Mongoose. Are they going to be able to get on this point? Yes, the E is in, and the fight is on. We're going to have a full fight in the back. Stukov looking very low. Actually, Lucio is going to be going down here. Suikoden trying to get on out of there using that bone armor. And Regen Ghost gets the best of this first exchange, grabbing the neutral siege camp. And now the rotations are back on. Spartacus is a little bit dangerously low here. Cassie is on the chase. Silence is out. I don't think the slow landed, so Spartacus is going to be just fine. Level 4 is here for both teams. Zool and Diablo working on clearing out this camp. Bandit coming down to help as well, while Shui gets on out of there before the gank completes. Regen Ghost turning things around. They had a bit of a disadvantage on the wave clear, but winning that bottom fight and disrupting the flow of Lubu, definitely getting them a slight lead here in experience. Looks like Regen Ghost getting ready to complete their first turn-in. They need a few more waves as Andrew and Litorok are going to go ahead and pick up this Bruiser camp to help control that mid lane and force a response out of Lubu. Spartacus softening up Mongoose here. Here comes Dubsy613. There's the stun, but Just sort of letting them know, hey, you can't step up for free. Lubu doing the same thing, grabbing the bruiser camp on the left. Those camps are going to meet in the middle and demand the wave clear of both squads as level 7 approaches. Both teams now basically have enough gems for a first turn into the game. We'll see whether they want to hold those gems for a possible double turn in. Mongoose going right in. The E does not land, so he's going to have to walk on out of there. Luckily, the spell shield from the bruiser camp helping to mitigate some of that damage. Alan Hicks looking for a charge onto Cassia, didn't find the angle. And now both teams are going to be looking for level 7 to hopefully grab that advantage before the next team fight. Alan Hicks going straight in, hitting the flip onto Litorok, but the silent zone from Stukov is there. Great stun by Kael'thas, picks up 2 members, and that will allow Lubu to back on up. Level 7 will be arriving for both of our teams just about now. There it is, level 7 is here for them both. So no opportunity for a talent tier advantage fight. Ooh, it's an extra slow onto Alan Hicks. This could be trouble. Mongoose going over the wall and securing that kill. Bandit and Streakwing trying to pick up those extra gems. Looks like they were successful. Spottic is getting some extra damage on this wall. Could be in trouble here. Using that vault to try to get away. And Vala will be going down. Got a little bit of extra damage there. Could be worth. Could be worth. The death timers are still very, very short this early into the game, as well as the experience gained from those hero kills. Speaking of experience, we do see those 3 kills have added up to about 1,500 extra experience for Regen Ghost. About even on the minions and mercenaries, it's really just those early hero kills that are giving them the experience lead you see now. Red Web Weavers are on the way here for Regen Ghost. We'll see how much structure damage that they can do. Spotticus already back on the field, trying to defend this top push. Streakwing harassing on the edges. Regen Ghost wants to work on this top lane to possibly open up boss plays in the late game. And that's where the defense from Lubu will be focused as well. Kael'thas in the mid lane, Zool cleaning up that bottom objective. Leoric double soaking to try to maintain that experience advantage for Regen Ghost. Mongoose getting shoved into fort range is going to have to use the burrow charge to get on out of there. The wall is down. The silent zone is there. A nice stun onto Alan Hicks. They're trying to grab this well. Looks like it won't quite go down, though Regen Ghost does have the opportunity to escape. So, good push there to start. Usually you don't get a ton done with that first objective, so getting a wall up top is about all you can really expect. Level 10 is very close here. They will have a short opportunity to fight with a heroic advantage. We'll see if Regen Ghost can find the opportunity. But Lubu is actually looking for a big rotation onto Shui. Alan Hicks, using that Wraith Walk unstoppable to avoid the pin from Alan Hicks. Very nicely done by Shui. Level 10s have arrived. Let's see if they can catch a fight here. They're rotating very aggressively. Level 10s are not quite here yet for Lubu, but they will be here in just a moment, and there they are. Could not quite find the fight. Very good job by Lubu to avoid rotating through the middle too aggressively there. We do have the Cocoon coming out from Anubarak, along with the Entomb from Leoric. We do see Eternal Feast from Morpheus, so looking for a stun combo into the big Eternal Feast. The Flailing Swipe, of course. Oh, Lucio dead in the top lane as I'm prattling on about heroics. Very nice rotation by Regen Ghost to catch that slippery healer. Ball Lightning from Cassia to round out that list. Looking over at Lubu, we have the Apocalypse, the Rain of Vengeance, Sound Barrier from the Lucio. Kael'thas still thinking about it. And the Skeletal Mages from Zool, so no Poison Nova this game. They want to have that the slows and control of the Skeletal Mages. Still waiting to see whether it's going to be a Phoenix or it's going to be a Pyroblast. Bandit may not have time to choose it here, as Kael'thas is going to go down before the Heroic can be picked. Nice job by Mongoose to engage with that Burrow Charge, got the stun follow-up. Streakwing could be next. The Cocoon is out. We'll see if Regen Ghost actually has the room for the follow-up. Eternal Feast is down. Gets 3 ticks. The Apocalypse coming out in response is going to catch 2 members of Regen Ghost. The follow-up from Vala catches 2, and Orphea will be down here. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Kael'thas is back on the field. The next Red Web Weaver phase is online. But without Orphea, there's only so much they're going to be able to do here. Well, actually, a great slow coming out from Stukov was lining up the Fen from Little Rock, but the members of Lubu were just a little bit too far away. Zul could be in trouble in the top lane here. No, Shweez thought better of it. Suikoden actually holding 39 gems here for Lubu. So Regen Ghost will absolutely be looking for a Zul gank whenever possible. Pretty good job with this second Webweaver phase. This mid fort is a breath away. Very aggressive rotation here from Regen Ghost. Shui leading way. There is the Entomb. They're looking for Bandit once again. The Silent Zone is out, but it does not stop the Sound Barrier. That mitigated a lot of that damage, and the counter kill from Leoric is there. Let's see if Regen Ghost can actually get out of here. They've got to move over this wall. Alan Hicks looking for vision. There's the Flailing Swipe. That could be enough of a disengage. Spoticus trying to come on up. And it looks like Regen Ghost will manage to get away. Great counter engage there. Oh, there's the dive attempt. They want Suikoden's gems. There's the Cocoon. Fort is down. Will they have enough damage here? The Silent Zone is out. And they do get the Zul kill. Can they ward away these gems? Alan Hicks walking right in, does pick up most of them. Using the Apocalypse to try to disengage. It looks like the gems were mostly saved there. And now Regen Ghost with that very brief level 13 advantage is going to go ahead and ward away from this camp. They want to find this Diablo. The Silence and Tomb is out. The Eternal Feast is back. There's this double stun follow-up. Pyroblast from Kael'thas in response. They want to ward away from these gems as much as possible. Looks like a couple were left on the ground. Spoticus is now holding the majority of the gems for Lubu. Valkymer redeeming the drink water. Go ahead and get that in. Regen Ghost playing a very aggressive brand of Heroes of the Storm here. They still need another 32 gems for their next turn-in, but they've so far denied every turn-in opportunity from Lubu, who's now rotating up here onto Shui. Leoric, I think Leoric is just going to be going down here, using that extended Wraithwalk to try to actually get back to the team. This could be the engage that Regen Ghost wants. Once again, the Entomb Eternal Feast combo is out, and Diablo is down. Lucio could be next, caught in the cocoon here. Sort of out on an island. 31 gems on Streakwing, using that movement speed and the wall ride. It looks like Lucio's going to be just fine. Regen Ghost doing a fantastic job controlling this map. And with the Diablo down, they're going to go ahead and pick up this boss. Ending that burrow charge just a little bit too soon as Mongoose, but that's okay. That's alright. Looks like the boss will be picked up without incident. We'll see if Spoticus can go ahead and drop off those gems. They're working on it. So far, Regen Ghost has been behind every corner here, so they're doing a good job of keeping an eye on those bushes. Boss is taken. Streakwing and Spoticus holding a lot of gems. We'll see if Regen Ghost can get on down here. They almost certainly know that the turn-in is coming, and there it is. Alan Hicks actually in a lot of trouble here. Diablo is going to go down. There is the silence. There's the stun. Oh my goodness. This Entomb Feast Silence combo is too much to handle. Level 16 has arrived for Regen Ghost. That's 2 members dead, as Kael'thas falling as well. Boss is going to have to be responded to in the top lane, though it is a blue Webweaver phase, so that will keep Regen Ghost at bay for now, as they have to work on clearing the mid and the bot lane before heading up to the top. Bitterrock working on that bottom lane pressure, while the rest of Regen Ghost clears up the mid lane. Boss was taken out, top wall basically taken down. And Regen Ghost has pretty much had a big stranglehold on this game so far, really showing that heroic synergy in grabbing the kills pretty much any time they please. And here comes the rotations again. Bandit is seen by Shui. The Entomb does not quite catch anyone. The Eternal Feast is out, zoning on that bottom part. Diablo has been having a really tough time gathering those souls again. Litterrock, the target of a Pyroblast with that 30 armor from Kael'thas, is enough to keep Cassia alive. And Diablo down again. This is going to be tough for Diablo. Diablo needs time in lanes. It needs extra waves to get those souls back. And it's just been gank after gank after gank, keeping Alan Hicks' health and spell armor very low. Spoticus once again looking for an opportunity to get those gems off of that squishy Vala body. Mongoose sees where they are. Regen Ghost is working on that bruiser camp. Mongoose is warding away, trying to get as much delay as possible to let the rest of the team show up. Mongoose could be in a little bit of trouble here, taking a lot of damage from Kael'thas. And here comes the rest of the squad. Cassia still working on that camp, does actually finish it off. Suikoden and Spoticus are the targets for Regen Ghost. Spoticus looking for an opportunity. Littlerock is there for the interrupt. Lubu is desperately trying to create space. Shui with another huge entomb. Leoric is actually going to go down here. The Eternal Feast went out, but the sound barrier was strong. Lubu still 5 alive. Islandix using that Shadow Charge to reposition and get away. Leoric is down, but that is all, so it is a 5v4 for Lubu. That could be the opportunity they need to split up and get those Vala and Zool gems turned in here. Just another 14 needed to turn in. Actually, it looks like Regen Ghost is going to deny the opportunity by turning in their gems, and there it is. The Skeletal Mage is actually not targeting the turn-in properly, and the red Webweaver phase will be there. That's an unfortunate set of RNG for those Skeletal Mages coming out from Zool. Here comes the red Webweavers. Leoric is back on the field. 18 to 16 in levels. Taking a look at the hero damage here. Vala topping the charts here for Lubu. Cassia leading the way with Orphea hot on her heels for Regen Ghost. 5 kills onto Diablo so far. They've definitely done a good job of keeping those souls low and keeping Diablo as squishy as possible. There's an Entomb just over the wall there. An Eternal Feast is out. Double stun combo. Zool down. Diablo down. And this could be the push to win. The Cocoon catches Kael'thas. There's the follow-up stun, not quite landing on a bandit. Show the stats, roll, not KDA. I'm not sure if I have that. I've only got the 3. I've got talents, I've got... yeah, I don't know if I've got that one. I've got the XP. Bandit actually being keyed on here by Mongoose. I might be missing a stat screen. Oh, my goodness. Leoric going down in response. Regen Ghost looks like they're going to work on this top keep rather than pushing into the core. I'm going to have to fix that up. I've only got 3 stat screens. How embarrassing. Regen Ghost. Going to go ahead and get ready for this top boss coming up in about 20 seconds here. They also need to keep an eye on both these turn-in points, though. With the lanes pushed out, it's going to be tough for Lubu to find an opportunity to get the turn-in. Shui keeping an eye on Lubu. Bottom siege camp is pretty much the only thing left on the map to do for Regen Ghost, so they're going to go ahead and pick that up. Streakwing looking to turn in those 39. Looks like they will do so successfully. Leoric getting away from the Bone Prison, and Spoticus does have this space to turn in. That's going to be another blue Webweaver phase, and getting just some of that enormous gem quantity off of Vala. There's the Entomb. Now the Entomb itself silences. Don't even need the Stukov for that. The sound barrier does land. Alan Hicks getting on out of that Eternal Feast. But Diablo is going to go down. Lucio is Cocoon in the back. Let's see if they can grab the kill on Streakwing. Yes, they can. That's 2 members down. The blue Webweaver phase is still active, so that's going to be pushing out these lanes. But it looks like Regen Ghost doesn't care. They're going to be going straight for the core here after those 2 kills. They will not have any minion support, so the core will be doing heroic damage through and through, possibly keying onto those beetles. Andrew actually getting targeted by the Pyroblast. Spoticus is on the chase, but Bandit is going to be the first to fall here. Andrew being chased out by Spoticus, but there's Shui. It looks like the core is shieldless, and Regen Ghost is going to be pushing for the win. The Entomb not quite finding the Vala. Andrew going to go down here, but this core is already half health. The DPS is locked in. Littlerock actually being targeted hard. Cassie's going to go down. Is this thing not actually over? Dubc's still alive. 13% on the core. Shui is being targeted by Suikoden and Spoticus. Just a little bit too much, and Regen Ghost is going to pick up game number 1. Taking a look at the game results as they load in. Diablo, 7 deaths is kind of the story of this game. Regen Ghost doing a fantastic job with that crazy, crazy ult combo from Stukov, Orphea, and Leoric. Anub'arak are there for the follow-up stuns. They could kill pretty much anyone they wanted at any time. The sound barriers were there from Streakwing on multiple occasions, but even with the sound barrier, just those health pools and shield pools were completely shredded. Regen Ghost doing a fantastic job there in game number 1, 16 kills to 6. Orphea leading the way with 55,000 hero damage for Regen Ghost. Vala, played by Spoticus, for Lubu with the 50,000. Galethos and Zool coming in at 40,000, so a lot of damage actually coming out from Lubu, but the target fire from Regen Ghost just too much. Quick look at the talent screen. Just so you know what these players tend to go. Alright, game number 1 is in the books. I'm going to see if I can figure out those stat screens in the meantime. They're all linked to macro buttons on my mouse, so may require some extra time getting those in. It may not be today. But we're going to head to the break, and we're going to have game number 2 for you in just a bit. Don't go away. Alright, these teams are rearing and ready to go. Very short break here. We're going to be heading to game 2 between Lubu and Regen Ghost. Regen Ghost picking up that game number 1 win. They're going to look to close things out here on game number 2. Let's take you over to the map screen. Let you know where we are at. Braxis Holdout, Sky Temple, Battlefield of Eternity, and Infernal Shrines are not on the menu today. Tomb of the Spider Queen was chosen and won by Regen Ghost in a very dominating display there. And Lubu, taking map choice for game number 2, is going to go ahead and pick Alterac Pass. That's not one I get to cast a lot, so I'm looking forward to this one. We'll see what the strategies are, what these teams want to bring out in controlling this very, very large map in comparison to the very small map that was Tomb of the Spider Queen. Looks like the teams are not quite ready to start, so let's go ahead and bring it on back to the face cam. Yeah. Just making sure everyone's all good to go, everyone is all set. Controls 1 through 8 for the Ollie combos. Yeah, I gotta hook those up to the mouse here. I've got 2 more spots, because I remember looking at all the stat screens and thinking, I don't need all of them. So I just chose the 3. And I've got 2 more spots on the mouse so I could hook up some stats too, so I'll have to take a look. What was it that you called it? Roll, not KDA stats? Let me make a note of that. Check Ollie Obs stats options. Roll, not KDA screen. Cool. Go ahead and check that. After today's cast, we'll be ready for next week. Thank you, El Taquito. Do I have the XGDI standings? I don't have it hooked up to the cast. I believe Lubu is currently in first, undefeated, and Regen Ghost only has the 1 loss. I believe they're ranked 1 and 2. Last I checked. But we've got ourselves a draft. So let's get into it. You know, that's really something I should do. I've been thinking a lot about how to level up the stream, how to get better scenes going, and I want to be able to put up stuff like standings, stuff like player profiles, stuff like team profiles. I want to just totally ESPN this business. Stats everywhere, but I've got to, you know, carve out some time to actually get it done. These teams are banning fast and furious. Regen Ghost is going to take Mei off the board. Lubu taking Leoric off the board. So they figured that combo kind of keyed off of Entomb. So they're going to take that piece out of the equation. As I go ahead and bring up my stuff again. There we go. There we go. Gotta have the Soothsayer screen ready. Ready to go. Deckard once again banned away by Regen Ghost. No country for old men today. Absolutely not. The roll stats, but not the obscure ones like CC. Yeah, so stuff like CC time, I felt like I didn't need a hotkey. But I've got 2 more positions, so I should fill those out. I should fill those out. Have some more interesting stats. Orphea, gonna be banned away by Lubu. So they don't want any part of the comp that came out last time. Dub C is gonna take the opportunity to snipe the Tassadar first pick here for Regen Ghost. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure that Lubu is 5-0 and Regen Ghost is 4-1 coming into this matchup. And they're in the 1 and 2 spots. ETC and Cassia picked up by Alan Hicks and Streakwing. So we will finally get to see these ETC changes that came in just yesterday come into play. I am interested in getting a co-caster. Greymane and Johanna picked up by Littlerock and Mongoose here. Because all of last NGS season was the first time I've ever cast. So I went through, I've been doing the solo thing. No, Mongoose is not playing Mongoose. Mongoose is playing Johanna. There we go. And I feel like the biggest sort of part of casting that I haven't experienced yet is consistently duo casting. So that's one of the personal goals I had for myself going into NGS Season 10, as we see Stukov banned away by Lubu. So, yeah. They want to eliminate as much of that combo as possible. Leoric, Orphea, and Stukov off the board. Cassia picked. Definitely adapting the ban strategy here is Lubu. So yeah, for the next season, for the future, looking for co-casters is #1 on my, improve as a caster list, as we see Imperius banned away by Regen Ghost. Anduin will be picked up by Suikoden, and Bandit is once again going to go ahead and grab the Kael'thas. So Anduin great at saving from these big ganks from the pick potential. So looking to play a little bit more defensively here is Lubu. Shui and Andrew are the next to act here for Regen Ghost. They need a healer. They need an offlane. Let's see what their choices are going to be. It's going to be Rhaegar and Thrall, so they're going full-on Bloodlust. They actually got pretty much the ideal Bloodlust comp. Yeah, this is exactly how you draw it up. You go Johanna, Greymane, Tassadar, Rhaegar, Thrall. This is it. They got it exactly. That leaves Spoticus on Falstad? Is it going to be the Falstad, or are they looking for another kind of disengage here? It is going to be Falstad coming out from Spoticus. Mighty Gust, probably the most direct counter to the Bloodlust comp. Of course, there are other shield comps, there's other knockback slows, but just taking everybody and moving them back 20 yards is the way to go for sure. Alright, game number 2. We've got the full Bloodlust rage of Regen Ghost versus the disengage of Lubu. Let's get into game number 2. Alright, loading in here to Alterac Pass. I'm interested to see if Alan Hicks... God damn it, I hit the wrong button again. I've got 2 buttons to go back to the face cam. One of them continues the music, one restarts the music, and I hit the wrong button twice. God damn it. Oh. Caster tech. I'll figure it out one of these days. It's okay, we're loading into the game. We don't have to ponder for too long. On the left in the blue, once again, is Lubu. Spoticus is going to be playing the Falstad. Streakwing on the Cassia. Bandit is going to be playing Kael'thas. Suikoden on that Anduin. And Alan Hicks is going to be playing the ETC. On the right, in the red, is Regen Ghost looking to close out this series with Mongoose on the Johanna, Shui playing Thrall, Dub C613 on the Tassadar, Andrew on the Rhaegar, and Litterrock playing Greymane. Here we go. The announcer, strangely silent as we come in here to Alterac Pass. Echo of the Elements picked up by Thrall, the Shockray quest, of course, for Tassadar, Globes for Kael'thas, and Falstad still thinking about it. We'll see what that level 1 talent is going to be as the team's looking to clear this wave and get to the offlanes as quickly as possible. Johanna using that Iron Skin. Mongoose could be in some trouble here. Iron Skin already down, but there's the wall from Tassadar. Looks like Johanna's going to get out of there just fine. Falstad going to go ahead and head off to the bottom lane. Looks like Tassadar will be the match for the meantime, as Thrall is going to be heading over to the top lane. El Taquito, thank you very much for the follow. Trying to get on top of these camps right away as both of our squads. They want to get that right at the 1 minute mark so they have the opportunity to get it a second time before the first objective becomes critical. So very strong map macro coming out from our two squads. We got Cassia versus Thrall in the top lane. We've got Tassadar versus Falstad in the bottom lane. Certainly not traditional solo lane matchups, but with a map like Alterac Pass, where the rotations aren't really something that you can rely on, you tend to get these sort of pseudo off-lane ranged assassin type matchups. Camps picked up simultaneously by our two squads. Are they simultaneous? Nope, blue was picked up a slight bit earlier. I thought they were going to walk through the gate at the same time. That would have been awesome! Dub C taking a little bit of extra damage from Swadicus down in the bottom lane. Shui actually getting on top of Streakwing, canceling out that armor from the trait, getting some extra auto attack damage in. Very nicely done. As Johanna is using that Iron Skin, Mongoose once again could be in some trouble. Very nicely timed. Done by Bandit, and Johanna will be first blood. Good work, good patience there coming out from Lubu to grab the kill onto the enemy tank. Checking in on these matchups, looks like everything is pretty even. Cassia having to use that tap to stay topped off versus Thrall. Swadicus could be in some trouble here, but Suikoden is there for the Leap of Faith save. Definitely that is the time to grab a gank right before these prisoners come up. Timing on the camps are going to be coming up in about 15 seconds, so we're going to see our teams retreat to those knoll camps before moving towards the objective. Rhaegar already in position. Greymane going to join. Looks like Lubu not committing to the camp right away. They may be looking for a gank here. Suikoden keeping an eye on things. A nice slide by Alan Hicks, but no follow-up to be seen. A nice body block as well, but he's going to have to get out of there to avoid taking extra tower shots. Yep, so Regen Ghost on top of this camp a little bit quicker. That should give them the opportunity to at least get some pressure in the mid lane, if not move on to the enemy objective space. And there we see Cassia and Kael'thas are on that camp. Alan Hicks trying to get on out of there. Still has the slide available and will jump on out. We'll see Regen Ghost move on to the enemy camp. And while Kael'thas and Cassia are capturing the Knoll camp, they'll have to finish that, and then Lubu will have the opportunity to respond. This does give Lubu a bit of an advantage in that they get to clear this camp and then go to the fight. But with only 15 seconds left on the timer, well, it looks like Regen Ghost will concede their position. They don't want to get too greedy. They're down to 8.6 seconds that they need to channel the remaining camp. They're going to go ahead and clear out this camp in the mid lane, knowing that they have the opportunity to give a bit of position. Shui could be the target of a gank. The Iron Skin from Johanna is enough to stop the stun from Alan Hicks. And these teams have reset the lanes, and they will be continuing to engage. Mongoose is there. Johanna is on the backline here. The big slow's coming out. Shui has the root onto Bandit. Alan Hicks looking to peel. ETC could be in some trouble here. Mongoose way in the back trying to get the slows onto Bandit. Good job backing away by Lubu. Objective timer not ticking as of now. It's going to be important for Regen Ghost to stay on top of their lanes. They're currently a level behind in experience. That minion soak definitely favoring Lubu right now with almost 3,000 extra minion experience. Falstad with that global opportunity is going to keep Lubu very high on the experience as we see the null camp again picked up by Regen Ghost. Looking to finish off the last 9 seconds of this objective. Regen Ghost is on top. They're pushing in. Alan Hicks does manage to get the slide away around the edge of the wall. 5 seconds left on the channel. See if they can get this interrupt. Ooh, the allies retook the camp. Very nicely timed by Lubu there. Bandit, once again, very forward position and is caught by Mongoose. Spartacus able to barrel roll over that wall. Bandit very low in the back, but the counter damage onto Litterok. Streakwing putting out a lot of Cassia damage there. And still, this first objective is up for grabs. So level 10 is going to be here for Lubu very shortly. So Regen Ghost will have to focus on their lanes a little bit if they want to be ready for the next engagement. That mid camp did get some work done on the fort wall, but level 10s are here for Lubu. And Regen Ghost is going to have to be cognizant of that as they defend this objective point. Lubu understanding their position, understanding their advantages, is going to scroll straight onto this objective. And Regen Ghost is going to retreat to the lanes. Definitely not going to have time to get level 10 and contest this objective, so they're going to be going ahead and giving the first rider advantage over to Lubu. This is the 4th camp picked up by Regen Ghost. You'll see they'll have double the number of camps that Lubu has picked up by this point, so doing a great job of at least keeping that experience advantage going as we see objective number 1 will be barreling down the lanes for the blue team. Excuse me, I need to invoke drink water upon myself. Johanna, the lone sentinel in the top lane, is going to be joined by Rhaegar and Greymane. Level 10s are here for Regen Ghost. That's a good timing on that to be ready for this defense. Mongoose way out front does actually get stunned again, but finds the opportunity to cast that Iron Skin and cut that Kael'thas stun short. This top lane push very lethal here. You see the counter push in the mid lane from Regen Ghost is getting a lot of work done. Falstad's going to have to respond to that. Thrall in the bottom lane cleaning up that rider. But this means this top fort could be in trouble here. Allied cavalry have been slain. Taking a look at the experience once again. It's really the minion experience lead. Almost 3,000 extra minion experience for Lubu. Looks like Regen Ghost may be going ahead and trying to sneak this boss. Feigning a rotation to the mid lane and then heading up to the boss. We see 3 members of Lubu have retreated back to this Null camp. And I think Regen Ghost is going to go ahead and pick up this boss. Alan Hicks smells something weird, does see it. But I don't think Lubu is going to be in position. The Bloodlust is out. They want to make sure they get as much damage as quickly as possible. And they possibly want this kill onto Alan Hicks. There's the wall. Oh, catching the slide, and ETC is going to go down. That is Bloodlust cast. Another 73 seconds until they get that again. They weren't quite sure of the positioning of Lubu, so getting prepared for it, definitely the smart play by Regen Ghost, but it will be another minute before they can take a full engage. Sticking with this boss to try to get as much damage on the top lane as possible. This wall will be going down, and the boss is going to be keying onto this top fort. Bandit taking a little bit of extra damage from Tassadar, but the boss about to die. Regen Ghost is going to have to back on out. Litterok working on this back Null camp once again. 30 seconds until the Null camp is ready for Lubu. Falstad's been doing a great job of keeping that off lane so high, keeping that full level advantage. So we see Thrall is down here, going to have to respond. Prisoners are being unlocked in the bottom lane.
Time for some action.
Alan Hicks controlling the bush vision. They're going to go ahead and clear out this mid camp, and then they'll have the opportunity to grab a null camp of their own. We'll see if Regen Ghost takes the opportunity to move forward, and it looks like they will. They're going to go ahead and grab some extra timer as Lubu is committing to the null camp. Spartacus could be walking into trouble here as Litorok is ready for the gank. Keeping an eye on things. Maintaining the vision. Good positioning there from Spartacus as Alan Hicks is ready to go in. There's the slide. Doesn't connect, though. So no mosh opportunity just yet. There's the Curse Bullet going out onto Falstad in the top lane. There's the Light Bomb. There's the mosh. Thrall is going to be the first to go down. Rhaegar as well. The counter kill onto ETC. So many members low. The Mighty Gust went out, but ETC Cassier down. Greymane down as well. Dub C is the only member left for Regen Ghost with 3 members alive for Lubu. And the catch is there. Full team wipe for the cost of ETC and Cassia coming out for Lubu. Very nicely done. They do still have their null camp pushing down this mid lane. A very nice little macro play by Lubu. That's going to go ahead and tank this fort for quite some time. Bandit taking the opportunity to try to clear this lane and get a free fort here. As we see the members of Regen Ghost are just now hitting the field. Bandit's going to have to retreat. There is still 20 seconds left on this camp, so Regen Ghost is not done with this objective just yet. Tassadar a little bit behind here, so Regen Ghost is going to have to be careful. Johanna catching 3, a big slow. Bandit could be in some trouble, but a nice stun and a follow-up stun by Alan Hicks is going to force Litorok back. 6 seconds remaining on the camp for Lubu. Greymane is going to go ahead and commit to the null camp once again. So both teams will be picking up this camp simultaneously. Looks like Lubu will have a bit of an advantage. Falstad actually using Fly to head to the top lane and grab that extra experience, so I'm not sure if Regen Ghost noticed that, but Spartacus will not be able to join this fight quickly. Shui keeping an eye on things here, trying to stay just out of slide range. Camp picked up for Lubu. Litorok working on the back camp. Looks like it will be picked up for Regen Ghost. Falstad has returned from the top lane. So it will be a 5v5. We'll see whether these teams want to commit to the mid lane clear. It looks like Lubu wants to get this last 6 seconds. And Regen Ghost looks like they're going to try to delay. Tastar throwing those shock rays over the wall. Shui trying to get those chain lightnings. And there it is. The channel is completed, and the next blue objective will be picked up by Lubu. Still with 5 structures here is Regen Ghost, so not terribly behind, though they are behind level 16 to 15. Checking back in on the experience, that minion lead has gone up to nearly 7,000 extra experience for Lubu. Shui actually getting the double stun, followed up by the Johanna, and Falstad getting picked off in the mid lane. The rest of Lubu is going to push down this bottom lane, as I need a sip of water because I've got a throat tickle. This is why I need a co-caster, don't you know? Lubu looking for a rotation. The light bomb is committed. Alan Hicks going for the mosh. He's interrupted by Johanna. The counter Bloodlust is there. Rhaegar will be the first to fall due to that Pyroblast. ETC going down, and Anduin as well. Dub C is doing great work with that Archon mode, but could be going down to Bandit here. There's the final auto attack, but Kael'thas will be falling to Mongoose and Shui. A full kill. Falstad was already down, so 4 members down. A fantastic counter engage by Regen Ghost, putting up this defense. Wow, that worked extremely well. I wasn't expecting so many kills to come out from Regen Ghost there. Really, really good work. Without Falstad there and the Mighty Gust to disengage from that Bloodlust, Lubu had to take the full brunt of the rage of Regen Ghost. With 3 critical members alive here, that's a lot of their boss race. It looks like they're going to go ahead and try to pick this up. This boss doesn't do a ton of damage, especially into Johanna with the Laws of Hope there, so this boss will be picked up by Regen Ghost. Excuse me. Should have had some more water before the cast started. Andrew coming in to help. Tassadar, Dub C613 back on the field. Suikoden will see that this bottom boss is being taken. Alan Hicks not quite there in time to stop it. here comes the bottom lane push with this boss. All forts are still alive here for Lubu, but Regen Ghost with those extra hero kills has more than made up for that missing experience. And we see now that the mercenary advantage for Regen Ghost is what is keeping them in this game. Spartacus could be next. Oh, the Blessed Shield does land. There's the root. There's the follow-up. Great aim by Mongoose to grab the Falstad kill, and they're going to go ahead and grab the top boss as well. Taking a look at the hero damage. There's Littlerock on that camp again, keeping that mercenary experience lead. Thrall doing a fantastic job on the siege damage. Tassadar on top of the hero damage for the members of Regen Ghost. Cassia and Kael'thas basically even on the hero damage for Lubu. And Falstad absolutely leading the way on that soak and minion kill experience. Alan Hicks could be setting up a bit of a gank here as we see Lubu gathering in the bottom lane to try to get a little bit of sneaky damage onto this bottom wall. Top fort will be going down. Whiskey will help that more than water. Ain't that the truth? Maybe those weekend casts we can have some flavor. But I gotta work in the morning. I probably shouldn't, you know, give myself that poor a sleep. Maybe we can do that in the next season. We can have Friday beer casts. Oh, content. Much content. Objective being channeled here by Mongoose, tanking those minions. Looks like Alan Hicks. Oh, it's actually going to respond to the mid lane. Littlerock taking a lot of extra living bomb damage. He's going to have to back on out of there. Mongoose trying to keep those minions away from the channel. Alan Hicks gets the slide there. Iron Skin is down. Mongoose is going to have to be careful. There's the Bloodlust coming out. ETC is going to be the first to fall. The Mighty Gust from Spartacus is there. Johanna's going to go down here, as well as Greymane. Suikoden has the Light Bomb catching Rhaegar, but Cassia will be the next to go down, as well as Anduin. Falstad getting caught by the wall, but using the barrel roll. Let's see if Andrew has the Z to catch up, and there it is. Falstad's going down. Bandit could be next here, grabbing that damage from the Twilight Archon, and that is a full kill for Regen Ghost. They're going to grab the last few seconds of this objective, but without Greymane and Johanna, this push is going to be a little bit difficult for the remaining members of Regen Ghost. Dubsy is looking to keep that Twilight Archon rolling. Gonna have to move up here. That Twilight Archon, I think it's going to expire here. Not going to have the opportunity to find another auto attack. Gonna have to wait another full 90 seconds for that to be back online. Andrew in the bottom lane trying to catch up this bottom objective. They're gonna go ahead and pick up this mid fort kill. The members of Lubu will be mostly up once these objectives reach the keep walls. It looks like Regen Ghost is gonna grab a little bit of free wall damage. ETC, Cassia, Anduin back on the field here. Mid-keep wall is going to be going down. Rhaegar trying to catch up that bottom lane, but coming to join the team as that bottom objective still has a fort to go through. The top rider is already on the keep. Falstad trying to go ahead and clear that out, but it looks like Regen Ghost may be looking for this mid-keep, looking for an opportunity to find some kills here. There's the bullet onto Alan Hicks. Oh, not the bullet, actually. Bullet's still available for Greymane. Mid keep is down. Top keep is softened up. The bottom objective is onto the bottom keep wall, so we'll see Regen Ghost rotating that way. Shui's gonna have to be careful here, actually using the Wind Rush to avoid a Gust combo. Good reaction time by Shui to avoid that Falstad combo. Bottom objective is almost spent here. So trying to get an extra poke damage. The Bloodlust is committed, and Regen Ghost is going in. The Blessed Shield is out. Bosch interrupted. So far, no members dead. The Twilight Archon is ready. Alan Hicks very, very low. Is going to be going down first. The Death Mosh catches Tassadar. That's a huge catch for Lubu. Trying to save Bandit. Oh, and actually getting the save. The Mighty Gust has caught Regen Ghost in the corner. This could be trouble. Mongoose with the Indestructible. Staying alive for now, but Thrall is going to go down. Littlerock is stuck in the back. Greymane going down as well. Spartacus trying to chase down Johanna. Andrew trying to ward away to let Mongoose get away. But the speed of Falstad could be too much here as the rest of the mounted members of Lubu are on the chase. Mongoose will be going down. Andrew being chased out by Spartacus. Look at that extra Falstad. The fly is there. Andrew trying to get away. Oh, and Spartacus lands it. It's a full team wipe. It's a staggered team wipe for Lubu. Fantastic use of abilities there, keeping everyone alive. Only ETC going down, and the full counter kill by Lubu. Regen Ghost was looking for the finish, could not quite find it. But with all keeps still up, Lubu is going to have to rely on the boss to help push out these lanes and try to push for the finish. They do not have the opportunity to simply go core here on Alterac Pass. The armor of the core just too strong. Prisoners are back onto the map. We're still 20 seconds away from Rhaegar rejoining the field. This is a 50-second channel that Lubu will have to complete. We see Regen Ghost is picking up this null camp. They're going to have to rotate down to clear the boss. And with only 45 seconds left on this objective, after they clear the boss, they're going to have pretty much one opportunity to move in and get the next team fight. Boss is melting away here. It looks like it may get the keep, but it's going to be pretty close here. Looks like they're going to do a little bit of a fadeaway, let the keep and the lane go ahead and clear that up. Actually, I think this keep's going to go down here. Not sure they could have saved it. Oh, that would have been close, but the fight is on. Mongoose is here. Falstad has flown in. Light Bomb committed onto Alan Hicks, actually not catching anyone. That's a pretty big deal here. Bloodlust is out and ETC is down. The Deathmatch didn't catch anybody. Regen Ghost is in a great position here to try to chase this down. Shui uses the Wind Rush. Not finding the stun just yet. They're going to move on to the enemy camp. Mongoose getting really chunked out by Bandit there. And now, with ETC down, this could spell trouble for Lubu. Camp is going to be the next focus for Regen Ghost. Dubsy and Shui are going to tank this objective. They're going to go ahead and steal this Knoll camp just to kind of flex on them. This is going to push down the mid lane. Will have to be cleared, but there's not a whole lot else that Lubu is doing in the meantime, so they're just going to go ahead and clear that out. No Twilight Archon for the core will be available. The lanes are almost entirely pushed in except for the bottom lane for Regen Ghost. These riders are going to be very difficult to deal with for Lubu. Alan Hicks will be back on the field for this defense as we see 6 seconds left on the channel here. But these riders will be rolling straight down the lanes. Mongoose looking for Spartacus here, not going to find it. The full defense for Lubu is here. They put up a fantastic defense on the last push. We'll see what they can do here. Where are they going to commit? Looks like they're going to rotate around in the mid lane. They're going to check their opportunities. They want to wait for these riders to get on top of the core. They don't want to take a fight without their advantage. Rotating here to the top lane. Looks like Shui hanging out just a little bit. They want to get these lanes pushed into the core as quickly as possible. Iron Skin used to ward away any possible advance by Alan Hicks. And the riders are here, and they are getting onto the core. This is the opportunity for Regen Ghost. No armor left on this core. It's going to be melting very quickly here. The Bloodlust is out. There is the Mighty Gust. Oh, fantastic work by Thrall to counter the engage, but the core just too weak. And Regen Ghost picks up the 2-0. GG. Alrighty. Very, very close game number 2 there. 15 kills to 16. We saw Kael'thas coming through with the 87,000 hero damage. Bandit doing a great job of softening up the members of Regen Ghost on those defenses. We saw Tassadar leading the way for Regen Ghost with the 50,000 hero damage there. And that was super back and forth. We saw some great mercenary control there. For Regen Ghost, we saw some great team fight reactions coming out from Lubu. almost to the point where they had the clinch at the end, but the macro pressure just too much, and the final fight going the way of Regen Ghost means that Regen Ghost picks up the 2-0 in this series. Well played. Let's take a look at the talents while I finish off my water here. And there we have it. Very well done. All right, let's see if we can get an interview with Regen Ghost to close out our night tonight. Hello, Mongoose.
Hello, my friend. That's twice this week. We're gonna have to stop
That is twice this week. 2 wins for Regen Ghost and a very big win here over Lubu. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked about this. We were really looking forward to playing Lubu. We know how good they are consistently, how strong of a team they are. So we're pretty pumped, honestly. It's a big win for us.
Very good games there. Fantastic work. Yeah, let's go straight into game number 2 there. That was really the story of the series. Extremely close throughout. You guys got pretty much the ideal Bloodlust comp, but the final pick of Falstad, did that kind of throw a wrench into things, or was that sort of an expected final pick there coming out from Lubu?
No, that was definitely a wrench. It was a good pick. I know after draft we liked that they were a little bit light in the hit point department as a team. You know, they had a lot of squishier targets, but they played around that really well. And particularly in the early to mid game, we really didn't have a great way to deal with Falstad, and they really leveraged that into a good level lead. I mean, 2 different objectives we were forced to concede because we didn't have the same talent tier, and that was 100% a result of how well they leveraged the Falstad Global. They got themselves basically 2 free objectives that we were simply unable to contest because of their talent tier lead.
Absolutely. We saw, I was noting a near 3,000 XP advantage in the minion department for Lubu. We saw a 10-8 going into the mid game, but it seemed like you guys were absolutely on top of those mercenary camps, really closing in the experience there, and then finally a couple hero kills bringing you ahead. What were so when you were looking at 10-8 and you saw a second objective coming your way, what sort of adjustments did you need to make to get back into that game?
Well, one of them, we were actually talking about it mid-game, right after they got the second objective when it was 16-14, and we were discussing how to deal with the Falstad, and Shui said, run mid and kill him right now, and that was it. Like, let's not let him be comfortable in lane, you know? And there was, after that, he seemed to play a little bit more conservatively, so that was an adjustment, making sure that we were putting a little bit of kill pressure on Falstad and making sure that he was aware of when we weren't on the map, that meant he could conceivably be in danger. And then the mercenary camps, right? Keep the map pressure up, and give him stuff to do other than, you know, safely soak in lane. Make sure he feels that he could be under kill pressure, and give him catapults and mercenaries to contend with as well.
Definitely saw that adjustment. You had a couple of pretty important ganks onto Falstad, one in the mid, one in the top, opening up the opportunity for bosses, opening up the opportunity to push in those lanes and really cement yourself on the map. Now, the second last fight, you're pushing in the bottom lane, and that was really, I want to say it was a chaotic fight, but there were a lot of really well-timed reactions from both teams there, including the final mighty gust into the corner from the Falstad. What do you think the real turning point was in that engagement that turned things from what seemed like a sure wipe from you guys into the counter kills coming out from Lubu?
I mean, that gust was money, and I think you have to, when you're playing against a Falstad, you really have to be aware of that counter-engage capability, particularly with Wind Tunnel, and when you're pushing in on keeps. And, you know, we didn't respect it enough, and they absolutely punished it. They put us, the whole team in a corner, and Kel'Thas basically just exploded everybody. And we had a little bit of a great escape there at the end, but it was really only delaying the inevitable. It almost might have been, frankly, almost might have been better for if Andrew and I just YOLO'd in and didn't stagger the death timers, frankly. But yeah, the gust combined with the Kael'thas blow up was really good.
Definitely a fantastic engage for Lubu there, but being Alterac Pass and that you had all of your keeps still up from the really good macro play throughout the game, and sort of controlling that mid-game, Lubu was definitely not able to go core too much armor. And yeah, then the last 2 fights definitely went your way, and you're able to close out that series. Fantastic work.
Yeah, if that was a more traditional map like Shrines, I mean, it would have been a long walk from all the way at one keep to the other, but they, with the fort down and, that late in the game, it's conceivable they could have ended off of that on a traditional map. So kind of fortunate for us that it happened to be Alterac, where it's very difficult to end unless you got 2 keeps down.
Absolutely. So that 2-0 victory, I think that puts you into first place for the season, if I recall correctly.
I believe it does. I think that locks us in as the #1 seed, and I'm gonna say I'm a little bit surprised by that, honestly, but it's pretty cool, and we're looking forward to the playoffs for sure.
Well, congratulations. So looking forward to the playoffs there. We've got the Lubu matchup. You're looking at possibly XGD. Let's see. What's a question I can ask that you can't answer? You got any secret strats for the playoffs coming up that you feel like sharing with the stream? You got anything in the tank there?
We don't. We haven't really talked about it, honestly. So we'll kind of see where it goes. Like I said, we're still kind of figuring our stuff out. So I don't think we're at the point where we're really working out pocket strats quite yet. We're still working out our kind of peanut butter and jelly foundation strats that are going to anchor the team, and then we'll start branching out into some niche strategies. But I don't think we're quite there yet.
All right, I like a fun little question like that. Last one from me. We had a balance patch yesterday come through, affecting some of our top picked heroes, some heroes that we didn't quite expect to be touched. Is there sort of a dark horse of that patch, or a hero that got buffed more than you feel like, might be buffed into the limelight here going into the playoffs?
Well, I don't know into the limelight, but it wouldn't surprise me to see that ETC Heroic at 13 cooldown reduction brought down a little bit more. 8% seems a little bit high, so it wouldn't surprise me to see that one brought down. And I haven't seen it in practice yet, but the Zul'jin level 20 on paper looks pretty scary.
It does look pretty scary. You give up the heal, but if you've got 5 on top of you and they don't have any stuns, do you just kill everybody? That's kind of what the town looks like.
So I want to see that one in practice, but I haven't had a chance to yet, so we'll see.
I'm looking forward to the WTF videos coming out in the next couple weeks to see how powerful that one is. All right, so as we wrap things up, once again, congratulations on your victory. Any shout-outs you want to make before we close it down here?
Well, I mean, just the usuals. Regen, my teammates. DeWitt, of course, for putting this shindig together. It's a great event. To Lubu, to Spartacus, who I hadn't had a chance to see in a while. Him and I used to play a little Modern Warfare, so I haven't seen him around in a little bit. We just keep missing each other, so it was good to see him.
Nice.
And that's pretty much it. Looking forward to the playoffs.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to seeing you in the playoffs. Congratulations, and good luck going forward.
Thanks, man. Good night.
Good night.